YouTube, what is up? James MTG Biggie here, and I know I've been kind of radio silent here for the last couple weeks. I was sick for a while, and then I had Christmas and the holidays and all that sort of stuff going on. So I had to take a little bit of a break, but I figured now I have an absolute occasion to come on and make some video content for you guys. The Vintage Cube is up on Magic Online. I don't really put money into Magic Online. I don't utilize Magic Online as much as a lot of people that make content, just because I don't really want to sink money into a second collection. Unfortunately, my channel is not the sort that sustains itself and pays for itself, and I don't make any revenue really off of it. There is ad revenue coming in, but it's not even to the point where I have made enough to collect a check from YouTube yet. So, I don't have the money to invest into Magic Online and into Paper Magic responsibly and pay my bills and all that sort of adult shit that you gotta do. That being said, when the cube goes up, specifically the Vintage Cube, I am on that shit immediately. I love Cube. It's one of my favorite ways to play Magic, specifically powered and vintage cubes. Just being able to do all of the broken things all of the time, or even like do the less objectively broken things and crush people trying to do really broken things. I am a notorious drafter of mono red. Just to get the play points rolling and to try to go infinite. But I figured we'll jump into a league today and do the draft and play some games, and it'll be a fun time. Hopefully my laptop is running reliably enough to run Magic Online. It's been having some troubles lately, but we're going to give it a shot regardless. So I'll jump in here and join the league. I had to buy event tickets because I'm all out of play points. That's how little I play Magic Online. But yeah, let's start it off. Already having trouble loading. Here we go. All right. Well, we get a pick one, pack one Black Lotus. So we snap that off immediately. Out of this pack, notably, Jace is pretty legit. Signets are very good. The mono red options we had are Fiery Confluence, Rift Bolt. Nobody's gonna pick any of these, so Mirror Battle Sphere is really good. There's some cards here. Gush I'm not as big a fan of in Cube, just because abusing it's difficult. But yeah. We snap Black Lotus. Easy, pick one, pack one, exciting way to start. And of course my HP support thing is going to come up and totally cock block my whole draft here. We have a Snapcaster Mage, a Hangerback Walker, a Leovold, which is interesting. I haven't looked at this list for this cube. Worn Power Stone is something I could be interested in. I don't know where we want to be, but if we take the big mana and we do the big mana busted things, I think that is a way to go. I like Jite. If we can pick up a Stoneforge along the line, Jite is not a bad pick. Mono red option, Sulfuric Vortex, that's about it. But I think if we snap off a Worn Power Stone, we're not going to be upset about it. Let's just take more mana and then worry about what broken stuff we're going to do with it later. Here we have Gristle Daddy, which is pretty sick. A Show and Tell, which is a really good way to get Gristle Daddy into play. Baleful Strix, if we're going to go grindy, mid-rangey. Necrotal, some removal, creature-based, like Reanimator fodder as well. Eidolon, Chain Lightning, both great mono-red options, but I think when we have Worn Power Stone and Black Lotus, first two picks, I think we're going to try to go bigger. Let's see. Is Gristlebrand the sort of fatty we want to play, or do we want the Show and Tell and worry about the fatty later? That's a tough one. I think we just jam Show and Tell and see what's happening. I'm taking Gristlebrand. All right. Show and Tell's a little scary because your opponents are all drafting pretty broken stuff as well. All right. Tezzeret is interesting. Let's see. Look at top 5. And yeah, that's a thing that you could do. Control Magic, really good in Cube as well. Some land, Breeding Pool's fine. Lands are always decent to take and prioritize early to fix your mana. I think we jam either a Tezzeret or the Control Magic. I think Control Magic, we just take what our opponents are doing, is pretty decent. I don't know what we're doing here. Necro is pretty bananas, but at triple black, we're going to be really into black. The Abyss is pretty sweet. Karakas is something we could take for opposing Gristlebrands and Reanimator strategies. Woodfall Primus, just another fatty if we're going to go the Reanimate route. Palinchron, more of a combo piece. Bazaar is something I could see doing if we're going to try to do a Reanimator thing. So maybe we just do that. Yeah. I say let's take a Bazaar. And let's just try to find some Reanimator stuff. Angel of Invention is really interesting if we're going to reanimate things. Tassiger could give us a little bit of a mid-rangey plan. Murderous Cut's good removal. Synergizes with our Bazaar. Delve is going to be a thing that we're going to be able to do. Sylvan Library is really good too. Drawing cards is always great. Council's Judgment is really good removal, but we're not in white at this moment. There's a good chance we're in black. There's a good chance we're in blue. Tassiger seems pretty legit. So, we'll do Tassiger. Let's see. Thoughtseize, Godless Shrine for some fixing. Living Death seems interesting. It's a thing that you can do. It's pseudo reanimation, but your opponent gets to as well. So, and at 5 mana, maybe there's something else we could be doing. Godless Shrine's pretty good fixing. Thoughtseize, I think we could probably utilize, protect our combo and our stuff, or enable it, discard our own Gristlebrand. I think we're going to jam an ultimate price. Just a piece of removal if we're in black. We're looking like a control reanimator sort of shell. I don't think we're in the neighborhood for Mutavault or Port. Tide Hollow's interesting, but I don't think it does much. Maybe we do take Gush. It's tough because we have to be very blue heavy. So I think we're just going to sideboard it. If we can catch enough duels or whatever, it could be decent. Urborg is interesting, giving us lots of black sources, pretty decent. Fixing that way. Shardless Agent's not really where we're at. Spectral Procession, not really where we're at. Mana Tithe, so we'll take the Urborg. Verdant Catacombs, very good. We'll take a fetch land. Baleful Strix, also solid. Necrotal, also decent, but we'll try to fix our mana. Fetch lands are good, especially late. Let's see. Leyline of Sanctity, a sideboard card. We'll take the Courtyard for more fixing. I guess we'll snap a Necro. I don't know that we play it. And sure, we'll take an Angel of Invention and Hazoret. Sure. So we're not really pulled in a specific direction yet, but we have some options, which is cool. Reanimate, I like. Notably, we could wheel an Inkwell Leviathan. Smuggler's Copter is kind of an interesting. It could be kind of fuel if we have some early game creatures, some value creatures, but I don't think we're going to end up that route. Anguish Unmaking, very good removal. Shelldock Isle's always good, but I think since we're going to try to cheat Gristlebrand into play and abuse a Bazaar of Baghdad and hopefully wheel an Inkwell Leviathan here, I think we're going to snap off Reanimate and be happy about it. We're going to look for a Careful Study, something like that. Let's see. We can't reanimate an Ulamog. Rituals aren't our thing. Makeshift Mannequin, though, is a reanimation spell, so that's a good place to be. Braids is pretty cool if we're doing the black control thing. Vraska's interesting, just as like a planeswalker that could just be tough to deal with. And then Mana Fixing, but I think we'll take the Mannequin. It's not the best reanimation spell, but paired with Reanimate itself, if we could snap this off, we need to get an Entomb and some other fuel for the graveyard. I think it's alright. Let's see. Duplicant, pretty solid. Good removal on a body. What does Death's Majesty do? I don't even remember. Yeah, okay. So a Reanimate Planeswalker seems pretty decent if we're going to do that thing. Notable, like, Green Ramp is always really good in this cube, but we're kind of in a different direction. Deed is interesting. Putrid Imp, also fuel. So it's between Imp and Majesty. I don't think Majesty is going to get scooped up. That Liliana is just not that exciting in most. And Putrid Imp is kind of a good fuel to discard a Gristlebrand to, or fuel our Tasker. So I think we're happy to have it. Jace Vryn's Prodigy is very good. It allows us to fuel our graveyard, gain some value, have a Planeswalker. So I think that is our pick here. Other notables, Bayou, really good to fix. Gives us a green splash. We have the Verdant Catacomb, so it's fetchable as well. I don't think we're going to go big man or anything, so Rakdos Return is not really where we want to be. Inferno Titan's a cool thing to reanimate, but I think on Gristlebrand and maybe even Angel of Invention, we're okay. There are other fatties to get. So I think we snap off Baby Jace. God Pharaoh's Gift, that's interesting. I don't know that we're going to want a 7-mana really, really narrow reanimation card. So I don't think we're there. Let's see. Ophiomancer, I don't think so. Turnabout, we're not really doing that thing. I mean, maybe we take the gift, but I doubt we play it. If we end up short on ways to reanimate stuff, maybe we'll try it out, so sure. Tendrils we're not in. Duress is not bad. I don't think we're a Tooth and Nail or a Voice of Resurgence deck or Mystic Snake deck. Wall of Blossom's interesting. It can buy us a little bit of time to try to set up our reanimation. The red spells are not for us, obviously, at this point. So I think we'll just snap off this Duress. Try to clear the way, as it were. Scarab God seems pretty busted. Grim Tutor also really good. We can go, like, get our reanimation spell. But Scarab God is just kind of reanimation machine in a can. And we could also take our opponent's stuff. I didn't realize it was in this cube, so we're going to try that. Shops is very good if you're in the deck. Mesmeric Fiend is just another way to clear the way. So that's interesting. Nothing that we're too excited about having here. Cradle's no good for us. Glenelendra is a pretty good control card. So it's between that and the Fiend. And we have a lot of early games, so maybe we're just going to snap off Glenelendra. See here, I like Anguished Unmaking or Diabolic Edict. Edict has good applications and bad. There are some matches where it's just underwhelming if your opponent's on like a mono white thing or a red or tokens thing. So I think we'll snap off removal here. Let's see, Braids, Vraska came back around. Thing in the Ice, Regrowth. Yeah, we'll try Vraska. Here, I'm probably taking Pernicious Deed, or Plateau. I could see it's not fetchable with our Verdant, so I don't think we're worried about that. So we'll take a Deed. Sure, Sweltering Suns is a thing that we could do. It also cycles, which is fine. Rakdos returns medium in our deck. I guess we'll just snap off Fetters, Wall of Blossoms, and Ewit. So we need some more playables. I think we need some definite more reanimation spells. I would like some sort of card draw or filtering. A Faithless Looting or a Careful Study would be delightful. Dark Petition seems pretty good. Pentab Prism, Rakdos Signet seems good. More fixing for us. I think as of right now we're going to be leaning toward the Signet. Prism is fine. Emrakul the Promised End's interesting, but I don't think we're going to be able to abuse it. So I think we're happy to take a Signet, try to fix red mana and black mana, which is good. Liliana of the Veil's very good. A Brainstorm is kind of better. One of the best cards ever printed in Magic in blue. Can help us set up our combo, as it were, but we also don't have a lot of fetch lands, so that's notable in Cube. Maybe we just take Liliana and just try to keep setting up our thing. Gurmag Angler is a dude. Like, we could take... so maybe we take the Lily, try to wheel the Brainstorm or the Gurmag. The Lava Claw Reach is also pretty good, but I'm in for a Lily. More control element. Hymn to Turok is okay. Burial Rites I could see. That is another reanimation spell. Vampiric Tutor is very powerful as well. Probe, also really good. We have a lot of duels. We have fetchable green and blue mana, or fetchable white mana. Volcanic would not be fetchable as of right now. So I could fix blue and fetch blue. Seems decent. Maybe prioritize that. Burial Rites is also another medium spell for Reanimator. So we'll take the Trop. Time Twister, Kalidas, Imperial Seal, very good. Water Grave, I think, is better than Blood Crypt and kind of what we're looking for. Fetchable off of our Catacombs also, which is great. Gifts Ungiven seems very good. Hippie, Demonic Tutor. I don't think we're in for a Hippie. Pretty underpowered. Ancient Tombs, powerful, but we need fixing more than just mana production. We already have Black Lotus and a Signet. Frost Titan is a cool dude to reanimate, I guess. But I think Gifts Ungiven can be pretty much right where we want to be. So let's see if we pull these over here. Yeah, we're a little light on spells that are playable. I'd like an Exhume would be good. An Entomb would be good. Something to get Gristlebrand into the graveyard. A Another, like, really good fatty, the Inkwell, if that would come back around, I'd happily take. So we're going to have to struggle. Also, more fixing would be good. We're going to have a very, very awkward mana base. Anguish and Making may not make the cut just because of the white mana. And Angel may get trimmed. So we're still a little light. I think we can make green mana because we have the Trop and the Grave and the Fetch land. Torrential Gearhulk's interesting. Toxic Deluge is also not a bad place to be because we can definitely use a early game sweeper, but we do have Deed as well. Survival is not where we're at the moment. Chrome Mox is decent, but not great. Gearhulk's interesting, but we don't have a lot to flash back. Temple Garden gives us fetchable white mana. So maybe we can play the Anguish Unmaking. So I think that's what we're taking. Nothing else here seems to be that exciting, except for the Deluge, but we have a Deed, we have a Lily. So we'll take the Garden. Hostage Taker is cool. That's an interesting thing that we could do. Brain Maggot, another effect like that we've passed several of already, so maybe we're on the like steal your stuff, reanimate our stuff plan. Compulsive Research, actually. Never mind. That could be a draw and discard outlet to put our dudes in our graveyard. So we're going to do that. Bring to Light's interesting. Not great. Splinter Twin. Another combo deck that would be fun to play, but we don't have any pieces to. Wildwood, we're not on. We could Trinket Mage for a Black Lotus, which is cool. Frantic Search, actually, yep. It's where we're at. High Tide we don't need. I'll take a Dark Petition, I think, here. It just allows us another essential reanimation spell or discard spell. I think it's better than any of this other stuff we could be doing. So we'll take that happily. Do we want a Gangler? I think we could Fuel Delve, and it's just a good fatty. Lava Claw Reaches is notable. But I think Gurmag is totally playable for us. Sower of Temptation is really cool. It's either Sower or Vampiric Tutor, and I think we're going to go with the Sower. I think just giving us another option. Since we didn't take a lot of powerful cards, maybe taking our opponent's powerful stuff is the way to be. Blood Crypt I'm glad to have. Don't think we need a Gorge, but I could see Dramoka. I like Dramoka. I actually like that as a reanimation spell. We're not playing either of those, and nobody cares about Tarmogoyf and Cube. So I think we have some good fixing. I think that we have some stuff to do. Whether or not we could put it all together and make a playable deck is neither here nor there, but we're certainly going to give it a shot. So let's see. Duress, Thoughtseize, Putrid Imp, Reanimate. So we have things to put our stuff in our graveyard with Bazaar of Baghdad and all that. Reanimate and Mannequin are our reanimation spells, unfortunately. But we do have the ability to tutor for them. And we could do some other stuff. Jace fuels our graveyard, gives us some more mid-game stuff to do. Scarab God, I think, is very powerful. And while we're short on reanimation spells, Scarab God could be the way that we get there. Vraska is just kind of our answer to stuff. And also, like, backup plan, we could just try to get there with Pirates. Same with Tassiger and Gurmag Angler. So we're sort of a mid-range deck with the ability to reanimate some powerful cards, and I kind of like that idea. I don't think we're God Pharaoh's Gifting. but we are certainly absolutely playing the Signet, Black Lotus, and we have Worn Power Stone. So we have some mana. We could even possibly hardcast some of our stuff. So we got some ramp. We definitely want Watery Grave, Tropical Island, Blood Crypt, and Verdant Catacombs. So Catacombs is very good. It can get us our blue and green. It can get us black and red. It can get us blue and black. So it fixes a lot of our mana. It can even get us white if we play the Temple Garden. So we can play the Temple Garden and actually cast a Dramoka, and it gives us another green source for Deed without having to play another forest, which is really good. We want Bazaar. That's a spell, though, not a land. So it's basically a 0 mana spell. It doesn't give us any mana. So right here we are at 31. That's 26 playable cards with a lot of ramp. So anything that we could trim. Let's see. I think we want the Deed still, just as our sweeper to get us out of the early game hole. Wall of Blossoms actually is considerable too, but having that green mana that early may be an issue. We're not playing Necro, we're not playing God Pharaoh's Gift, we're not main decking Sweltering Suns. I could see sideboarding into it. Fetters, Angel Invention, I'm not too excited about. And do we need the Urborg in lieu of a swamp? I guess. Making all our lands a swamp is pretty good. Maybe we don't main deck the Dramoka, and we're just kind of on the plan of reanimating solely the Gristlebrand. It's narrow, but we have a decent Sultai mid-range deck otherwise. We're on this bug mid-range thing where we could just have a Gristlebrand. That's the thing that we could do. It's a little disjointed. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's a thing to do. Let's see. So we're still trying to sort out. Let's see, 25, but 3 of them are... Yeah, okay. I think we're good there on actual cards and mana. So let's see what basics it recommends. Alright, we're on 0 planes, which is fine. We could board more planes in if we need it. We still have 1 white source main deck, so it's fetchable. 5 swamps, 3 islands, and a forest. So we need green mana for exactly Pernicious Deed and Vraska. So right now we have 1, 2, 3 sources. This gives us 4 sources, main deck. And then blue we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sources of blue, which is a little narrow. And black we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think maybe we go down a swamp, up an island, 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I guess we could try that. We also have Black Lotus and a Signet. The Signet is off 1 color, but it does ramp us, so we'll add that to the deck and save the deck, and hopefully that works out. Otherwise, we could change our configuration and sideboard or whatever, but yeah, I think 15 lands, 16, 17, 18. It's asking a little much of our deck. However, We have a Lotus. We've got some stuff to do. I don't know. I want to trim something here. So maybe Glen Elendra's a little underwhelming. Maybe the... I don't think we trim Signets or Worn Powerstone. Actually, Worn Powerstone's not that exciting. Because we're not, like, spending a ton of mana. And it's just a, like, kind of a do-nothing 3-drop that, like, could take us from 3 to 5 mana. But at 5 mana, we're just on Scarab God or Dark Petition. So it's not ramping us into anything much more powerful on turn 4 than it would to 5. So I think that's fine. Yeah, one more island, one more swamp. I'd feel much better about 17 and then Black Lotus and Signet. So let's do that. We'll save that deck and let's jump right into a match. Hopefully it's not a total train wreck. Like I said, I usually I'll draft mono red, mono white aggro decks because I actually kind of have fun doing that stuff. Or I like to play a lot of the big mana sort of green decks that just naturally ramp really well with a bunch of dorks and whatever. I don't usually go so combo-y, but we'll see. Alright, so one lander with an island. We're absolutely going to mulligan that. Okay, 2-lander, a Signet, a Lily, some stuff. I guess we have to keep that. I think turn 2 Signet into possible turn 3 Lily is probably fine. Bazaar of Baghdad, I will totally put on top. It could just get us there quicker. So, Forest for our opponent. And looks like they're just passing it along. Not too exciting. So we draw a Bazaar. I think we're going to wait on the Bazaar. We're just going to go Swamp and pass the turn. I don't want to expose the Bazaar to a Wasteland or something like that before we can utilize it really and get a lot of value off of it. I'd like to see a couple draws. Sylvan Library is pretty good. So our opponent's going to draw some cards and probably do some powerful stuff. Okay, we got to reanimate, so I think we're still going to slow roll a little bit and just develop our mana before we try to just dig for a Gristlebrand. So we'll just play a Signet and pass the turn. I could have slammed the Bazaar, hopefully dug into a Gristlebrand and reanimated a Gristlebrand, but I just don't think it's worth it if we go all in on that plan and can't do anything else. Okay, so let's see. He draws 2 with the library. Is he going to pay some life? Seeing that we're on a blue-black deck, probably, yeah. So he kept one of the 2 extra cards he drew, Oath of Nissa. Digging for more lands. Or a threat. Reveals Pelucranos. So we're going to be looking at a Pelucranos in the next turn or 2. Which is fine. I think our plan to get around Pelucranos is just to either get him with Liliana. I think is the safest bet. Urborg's interesting. I think we just jam the Liliana. So and then we play a land. And then I don't know that I think we could discard the Vraska. Our opponent has 7 cards in hand. Actually, Liliana's not under any stress yet. How bad do I want to keep a Vraska? We're off of it a ways in mana, so I think we could just pitch. We don't have the mana for it right now anyway, so while we don't have green mana, I think we could just get rid of it. And then put Liliana up to 4 and go from there. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, is pretty interesting from our opponent. On the flip side of it, we could have discarded and reanimated a Tasigur, but I don't think that's great. Let's just make our opponent have to deal with Liliana. Right now it's uncontested. I know they're close to a Pelucranos here, so... Yep. Oh, Garrick. Interesting. Well, that's a pretty good Magic card. Yeah. So, it's Garrick versus Liliana, which I guess is flavorful in a way. Let's see what we draw here. Island. I think we're going to discard the island. You know what? Let's Bazaar. I guess we can discard Swamp, Island, and actually, do we need double blue? Well, if we're discarding the island, we discard the Sower. Actually, I kind of want Sower, so... Let's pitch Tasigur, Swamp, Island. Sure. Then I think we'll just make him get rid of his token just to keep the board cleared. And then I think we just pass. We need a little more gas here. I don't know if that was the correct play to go for the Bazaar. I was hoping just to make it easy and get a Gristlebrand, but we could still do that in the next couple turns. Keeping the Reanimate, I think, is key. Opponent Sylvan Librarying. Let's see if they're going to keep anything. No, just put them back. So this thing can deal sack creature. Control. Sorry. So you deal 3 damage to a creature, so Sower's not great right now on this board. Makes a 2/2. So this is likely a Pelucranos. Yep. Which is fine. We can either cash in Liliana. Yeah, well, now that they're making a wolf, that doesn't work. Deed is pretty legit, but I can't cast it. So, let's go digging. Interestingly, I can reanimate the fucking Ulamog which seems legit. We'll discard the Sower. We'll discard that thing. And I don't think we want Deed. So we'll play a land. And I didn't think of it, but I'm just going to reanimate Ulamog. So, worst case scenario, and we get to plus Ileana. Worst case scenario now, we have a 10-10 that mills our opponent's deck out, so that's pretty sweet. I didn't see that line of play all this time. They pitched that Ulamog. I'm just like, what? Alright. Make our opponent pitch. Massacre Worm. And we'll just pass it on. I mean, come at me, Pelucranos. And our opponent's life total is such that he can't actually really take more than a hit from Ulamog. So a good draw would be, at this point, the Gurmag Angler would be decent. Any number of other beaters would be good. The Gristlebrand isn't as good now. Courser's pretty bad for us, because I guess the gaining of the life isn't that important. Avenger of Zendikar is very good. And our opponent's at 5-6 mana. Rofellos. Okay, well, our opponent's doing it, for sure. Not going to swing in with anyone. Tropical Island's not where we wanted to be. Let's see, we could Bazaar, but we pitch everything. I think we're just going to wait. We're going to let our opponent have an Avenger of Zendikar. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a gang of plants, but I think we're just going to try to wait him out and attack and mill him with Ulamog. So if we attack him now, we die on the crackback. As of right now, we're not dead to the swingback. So if our opponent draws any additional cards, that's good for us. We need some sort of gas. So we're kind of sitting here hiding behind Ulamog, which is great. Let's see. Our opponent can play a land off the top. Hopefully he does, because that'll put him down. Nope. Alright. So he's still at 23 cards. He's adding a metric ton of mana. Rofellos is busted, if you didn't know. Alright, so he's going to make a bunch of plants, and then he's going to play a land off the top, presumably, and give all his plants +1/+0. I don't think we're getting there. Yeah, our opponent has 22 cards, unfortunately. If we had a card that made target opponent draw, or target player draw cards, that would be quite beneficial, but which I think we do have. Survival's really good, but our opponent's now empty-handed. So it's all on the table for them. So it's down to whatever we can draw now. And our opponent doesn't have to attack into Ulamog. He can just afford to be very patient, which is good for him. Can't make another wolf. Go super wide while I hide behind a lone Ulamog. Thoughtseize. Not going to do it. And we're absolutely dead on the swing back. Let's see. Take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we're super dead here. Even if they sacrifice a plant, I mean, let's see. See, if I block the Avenger, I take 5, 6, 7, and I take, yeah, a metric ton. Alright, well, let's just swing in for the gusto and go to game 2. Actually, you may draw, so we can decline the Sylvan. If our opponent slips up and activates the Sylvan Library, I think there is a chance that we could just win the game. Let's see if they accidentally hit the Sylvan. So I think they would just lose. Alright. Well, we're dead. It was a valiant effort. It didn't quite come together for us, but let's see. Our opponent is going super wide. So in the sideboard, what do we like? Sweltering Suns I don't think is doing much for us. Anguish Unmaking can take care of the Garrick. So it hits a Planeswalker down, whereas like Deed doesn't. But Deed, like, for 0's pretty good with all the tokens he has. Vraska seems underwhelming. I don't think there's anything much more that we can do. Maybe Dramoka just as like a blocker bigger than his dudes. And Tremasower and work it like that. It's loose, but yeah, we will play first. A whole lot of lands, huh? No real plan. We definitely got to mulligan that. And no lands, so we definitely got to mulligan that. Black Lotus and a single land. So I guess we're going to keep that. And we get a Dramoka. We will totally bottom you. And see, turn 1. I can't. So yeah, I put a fetch land in. I Black Lotus for black. So that's 4 mana. 5, 6, turn 1, Tassiger. Alright. I think we take the Watery Grave. All right. Well, this is a route. If we get a way to put Scarab God and reanimate him into our graveyard, I think we're in great shape. Here, we're just in shape. Likewise, if our opponent puts anything worthwhile in the graveyard. Kind of a train wreck on a mold of 5, but I've done worse. Rofellos is super busted. That's really good. It's a good magic card. Good for our opponent. They're doing great things with their life. Control magic that we're never going to cast. Pretty good. I guess we jam with the Tasker. Just keep attacking with Tasker until our opponent plays something that can block a Tasker. So he's going to make 3, 6, 7 mana right now. Gross. More dudes. Well, that blocks the Tasker really well. Alright. Just all the mana in the free world right now. So if his remaining 2 cards are garbage... just force him to block with the wall. Yep. You found the line, sir. Absolutely. Right now, a Bazaar of Baghdad is very good. You get Bazaar back a Scarab God. Bazaar Reanimate back. So 5, 6. It's going to be a fatty. Oh, it's going to be an Ulamog. And we just die. Oh, good games, buddy. We didn't quite get there. Alright, well, that was some bad beats. We'll see you again for round 2. Hopefully we can do better. That was a display of a disjointed draft where we didn't quite get the pieces that we wanted from what we were trying to do, which totally happens. So I would absolutely like to play first, and I'd like a keepable hand. No black mana on 1, compulsive research. I have green mana for deed. I think we keep this, and hopefully we draw black mana. It's loose, but it is what it is. We can compulsive research and hopefully get there soon. Alright. Snap off an island and pass. Hopefully our opponent's not doing anything too busted or too bananas and gives us a little bit of time to set up. That would be delightful. Alright, another green deck. So if we have black mana, we get Deed online. That's decent. We can also figure out what our opponent's up to with Thoughtseize and Duress. It's a Wall of Blossoms, that's fine. Absolutely good with that. You have all the Wall of Blossoms you'd want. There we go. Alright. Well, that came up alright. So we'll go fetch. Get us a black source. I think we take Watery Grave. Or... yeah, Watery Grave's fine. We'll pay the life. It doesn't look like our opponent's being too aggressive. Let's go ahead and do we Duress or do we Thoughtseize? Let's Duress first. Alright, so we get a Nissa. Our opponent's on Fauna Shaman, Elish Norn, Mox Emerald. So, I think we take the Nissa. Everything else is not too scary, and we have Thoughtseize after that anyway. So, we could do that, and then we could pass it along. And then, soon after, we get a Tasker in play. I think that's pretty good. We also get the compulsive research, so we can go digging for reanimator stuff. So I like our position here. Nissa could be scary, and we don't have a lot of ways to deal with planeswalkers. So being proactive and getting it out of her hand or out of our opponent's hand is very good for us. Let's see. So it was Plains, Mox, Forest, Fauna Shaman, Elish Norn. If we can Thoughtseize the Elish Norn out of our opponent's hand and reanimate it, that would be a pretty sweet achievement unlocked. Vintage Cube is hard. It's a lot of fun. You try to do a lot of broken things. I'm generally, when I play Constructed Magic, I'm not like the broken things combo player. I obviously, if you've watched this channel at all, you've seen that I've been a big proponent of Death and Taxes, of Merfolk, of various control decks in various formats as well. The broken stuff doesn't come naturally to me. That's interesting. We have a way to get Gristlebrand into the yard with compulsive research. I think we want to... I think we just ultimate price our opponent's Fauna Shaman. We don't want them to toolbox up any busted creatures, so we'll just be proactive there. And then I think the next turn we can set up a compulsive research. We'll dump Gristlebrand and fuel the graveyard for Delve. So this is things when they kind of come together a little bit more. Again, I think the problem with our deck is we didn't have enough pieces to do the really busted stuff. And we had to supplement it with some pretty lower power level cards. But on the flip side of that, we can handle a lot of what our opponents are doing, hopefully. So Batterskull's pretty good. how do we deal with Batterskull? And then our opponent is 2 lands away from Elishnorn. Alright, Jace is pretty decent. We get Thoughtseize into Jace. That's a route we could go. We could Compulsive Research for some lands, which I kind of like better. So let's do that. Alright, there we go. Let's see, and discard 2, so we're happy to pitch a Gristlebrand. And against my better judgment, Deed, because I just don't think we're going to have time for Deed. And then we can play a tapped Temple Garden and pass. We're going to have to take some Batterskull beats, but that's okay. I think we still have time unless our opponent just goes Black Lotus Elishnorn. Then we're going to be in trouble, but I think next turn we can try to find another black source and then either Thoughtseize. Alright, or they could just go Mox another land. That's tough. Yep. So here comes Elishnorn. Pretty good. So we're off the Jace plan officially. And we're taking 6/6 beats from Batterskull. So we need a control magic. Alright. Well, there's our black source. That's step one. Now, whether or not I want to play that or the Bazaar to try to dig more is the question. I think I have to dig, so. Liliana's not doing a ton on this board, nor is Vraska. Although Vraska destroys a creature or artifact. So I think we'll just pitch Jace, pitch Lily, and pitch Thoughtseize. Then I think we are priced into casting Tassiger. Which is going to be the most pathetic Tasker known to man. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We even have to chump block with Tasker, it looks like. Really not what we're looking to do. Oh, I just took it and didn't declare my blockers for some reason because matching online is difficult. Well, that's the thing I did. and Breemaz to top it off. Our opponent's deck is sick. I love the card Breemaz, and next turn Elish Norton, it's pretty bananas. Gifts Ungiven. What can we do with that? Yeah, we're just dead, huh? Yep, we are pretty annihilated, so... Alright, good beats. Yeah. Maybe I should have stayed in my lane after I pick one, pack one Black Lotus, but what are you gonna do? I don't think I like the green cards in here. I think... Instead, I want to do something a little bit better. I think the white cards may be a touch better. Alright, we'll try it that way. Some more targeted removal. I will totally play first. Hopefully I get a hand I can play. Again, it's short on mana, but it's heavy on Jace, and I have control magic, and I can fuel delve, and I think I keep it. I'm not happy about it, but I just don't think 6-card hands, when I have something I could do and I have a way to filter through my draws, are where I want to be. Our opponent mulliganed to 6. Alright. Island and pass, and then Jason pass, and hope it's enough. Hopefully we can control magic something. Alright, we got the catacombs. So, we'll start there. That was a very good draw. Do we want the grave? Do we want a swamp? Do we want a trop? We don't have green cards anymore. So, I think we just take the grave. And we'll pay 2. And we'll add blue, blue, baby Jace. So Jace is active, so that's step 1. We have Gurmag Angler in hand, so we can do stuff. Alright, Blood Crypt, pretty decent draw. Let's loot. Alright, so we draw Island. I think we pitch Gristlebrand. Then I think we go Island. And next turn we can Makeshift Mannequin. Seems good. So we can make Gristlebrand next turn. If our opponent is doing nothing, that's even better. Sure. So I think we start here. Discard a swamp, play a swamp. Make Grizzle Daddy. So at the very least, we can draw some cards. But I think we're going to wait because we don't want to discard, so we'll just pass. Alright, well, accomplish one thing, and that is to make a Gristlebrand happen. Finhorn Elves is fine, I have a Gristlebrand. Finally, some stuff we get to do. Alright. So I think that we'll start here. Always loot. And we could pitch the other blue source, white source, English Unmaking. I think we can pitch English Unmaking. We just have enough good stuff now. Then I think we can go ahead and we'll jam with Gristle Daddy. For those who can't see it, my lovely opponent Zyder just said "ya fuck," so shout out to my opponent. Then I think we go ahead and draw some cards. Alright, those are some things we could do. We haven't played a land yet, so we can make green. We'll play the dual land. We don't need red mana. So we can play a land. We just cast a Black Lotus. Then I think we just, for fun, like a frantic search. Alright, I think we could pitch Island Swamp or Blood Crypt. Then I think we can play a Gurmag Angler. And I think we just Thoughtseize our opponent. We're just doing stuff so we don't have to discard. Our opponent can have that Batter Skull. I think we're just going to take this for natural order. I think we don't need that to happen. And then we're down to 7 cards, so we just pass it along. Then I think we gifts. Sure. Dromoka's pretty good. It's going to be really good when we control magic it. Why is it not letting us do this? All right. And we win. Let's control magic our opponent's Dromoka and win the game. That went substantially better. Our opponent a touch salty, but these things happen when you jam a turn 4 Gristlebrand off of the back of a 2-island keep with Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Here we can turn 1 Thoughtseize. We can turn 1 Liliana of the Veil. Thoughtseize, Gurmag, Putrid Imp. It does stuff. But it's pretty fragile. So, do we win the game if we turn 1 Liliana Thoughtseize? Well, this is the Vintage Cube, guys, and in this situation, I can also play Putrid Imp and discard and maybe eventually Gurmag, so we're going to YOLO this 1 lander. We're going to lead with Thoughtseize and a Tasker, so we're just doing the mono-black things. So we definitely Thoughtseize our opponent. Alright, Karn, Brimaz, Natural Order. Alright, he's going to Wasteland us. You have my Elder. He's short on mana as well, though. So I think we just take the Elder. I don't think our opponent's going to want to Wasteland us unless they draw another land. In which case, we just jam Putrid Imp and go from there. Yep, alright. Well, sometimes you gotta get Wastelanded, and that's fine. We draw a black source, we're really close to Tasker or Gurmag Angler, so Liliana is a threat, so as of right now, he's not doing a lot, neither are we. And any threat he does deploy, we just Liliana away. There it is. don't think we need the imp. Alright, well, we have our threat, and we have our Liliana. And I think we duress next turn. Temple Garden's a decent draw. Let's try to empty our opponent's hand, finally. It doesn't matter. We'll discard the Tassiger. The Temple. I think Tassiger's fine to discard. And now we just clean things up with Gurmag Angler. Well, it wasn't pretty. And it wasn't efficient. And it wasn't perfect. But it was entertaining. Cool. We just keep on keeping on with Lily. Our opponent has some draws that gets him out. Planeswalker would be very difficult to deal with. Like a Garruk or something would be pretty legit. Lands do not get there. Control Magic's not bad. I don't think I need to tick up with Lily. I'll keep the Control Magic. And we're one swing away. So this is their final draw step of the game. And of the match. Yep, we got there. Well, it is what it is. Sometimes the turn 1 Liliana is just really good. So we're 1-1 now. We brought it back from an 0-1 deficit in that match. Let's go to round 3. Yeah, I didn't go and play Modern this week, tonight, and I was clamoring to play some sort of Magic, and I just remembered the Vintage League was up. Yeah, Vintage Cube, rather. And it's a lot of fun, win or lose. It's worth the experience of drafting all the busted cards in Magic. Beyond that, I've been actually doing pretty decently in Magic lately. Been finishing a lot of 3-1s and stuff like that. Alright, this is a lot of hands and a Duress and a Makeshift Mannequin. This hand doesn't do a lot, but it has lands. We can get blown out, or we could do okay. I don't like mulls, so... Alright, I'm sick of mulliganing. We get to play Magic if we draw cards. That is what it is. We'll go Swamp, and we'll lead on Duress. See what our opponent's up to, at least. Interact slightly. Okay, they're on Reanimator as well. So do we take their ramp? Do we take their Reanimator spell? They have a Mole Drifter. I think we snap off the Mannequin. We'll let them have the pen tab. They kept a weird hand too, and so the Duress gave us a little bit of play while they don't have a lot of play. So we'll take it. I guess we jam an island and just ship it. So they're going to go Prison and then maybe evoke Mole Drifter next turn. While we look for more action, Urborg is not more action. It's more land. Alright, we'll play Swamp and ship it. So now they either evoke the Drifter or that's about it. Drawing cards is pretty good. Mole Drifter is pretty busted. Yep. So, drifter in, drifter out. Opponent has a nice full hand. Not doing much yet. Okay. There's step one. We have Gristle Daddy. We just need to figure out a way to put him in the graveyard. And I think also reanimate him in one turn, hopefully. Because we would not want to put our Gristlebrand in the graveyard and have our opponent reanimate it. That would be a bad look. Putrid Imp does that. Alright. Also gives our opponent a discard outlet. Did we play a land this turn? Alright. Well, let's try to make a Gristle Dad. Alright. Well, achievement unlocked yet again. Well, that's unfortunate, but them is the breaks. And we fueled our hand a bit, so we could do some stuff. Let's see. I think we just Vraska here. It's hard to think that my opponent would have a direct answer. And then, since we've played a land, we can, I guess, attack. I don't think they're going to have a haste guy to kill Nebraska. And then we could pitch a Urborg. Alright. Grave Titan's pretty good. However, I think we just steal it. And then I guess we could We should have deeded for 0. Well, before we upped Vraska. My mistake. So I guess we just play a Signet. And we can go with not attacking on this board. Play Gurmag Angler. Yeah. We'll just sit back. Alright, well, that's a thing. They're getting back a skin render. Yeah. Alright. Killer Sower. Get back their Titan. Happy to block that. Then we just minus Vraska and we're still good. Recurring Nightmare again. Okay. There we go. Alright. Discard 2 cards. Discard land. I'll just pitch the island. Sorry about the lack of commentary. I'm just thinking through my plays here. I just realized I'd been silent for a minute. Opponent pondering. So we have a Gourmet Angler. So we have a medium fatty. We have a Jace going active next turn. And we could still discard the Putrid Imp. So we're in okay shape. We just have to kind of have our opponent burn out their reanimation spells, because we haven't any graveyard hate, so that's tough. We got rid of the recurring nightmare, which was legitimately a nightmare. So it looks like they're going to buy back Skin Render. Okay. That's fine. Kill the imp. Sure. Value Town. Alright, they're going to go ahead and kill off the Vraska, which is unfortunate. We don't have a blocker for that. Those of you that can hear my cat in the background, he is making a ruckus. And Necromancy. Gross. So our opponent's kind of out-reanimating us, because he got more reanimation spells, while we're sitting back with our mid-rangey plan. He just takes our Gristlebrand from our graveyard. So that's pretty busted. I'm going to read Necromancy to make sure it's not shenanigans. Alright, well, I guess we are priced into ultimate pricing that. Or do we just deed for how many? X or less? Deed kills our Jace. But we could go deed for 5 and kind of clean things up. Let's Jace first. Alright. Draw, discard a Water Grave. Play a Black Lotus. And then this is interesting now, because we could flash back the Mannequin, but we have to get rid of the Necromancy. Yeah, I think we, instead of the deed route, the deed will be the trigger that we could pull to clean up the whole mess. But I think we just ultimate price our own Gristlebrand. Make our opponent draw 7. And then get a Gristlebrand of our own, which is less effective, but still pretty decent. Did we play a land this turn? No. And then I think we're okay to attack Liliana. And then I just think we sit back on our haunches, allow our opponent to do what he's doing. Worst case scenario, he kills Gristlebrand and kills Jace. Yeah, he has an ultimate price of his own. I don't think we want to pay the 7 life for the 7 cards. Although it's tempting, that puts us down to 4. Alright, we're drawing cards. We're not dead. Our opponent may ignore us, or may ignore Jace and just go after us. Nope. Jace down. Alright. So I think now we're just on board with the deed plan. Deed doesn't get rid of Liliana, though. Alternatively, we just cast Tassiger, have 2 fatties, ignore our opponent's graveyard, and control magic the Muldrifter. We are low on time. A lot of this decision making and thinking. I'm not a very fast Magic Online player, just because it's not as natural as paper Magic to me. However, it still takes some getting used to. And I don't play Magic Online enough to really catch on to playing efficiently and in the most timely manner. This has been a very complex game of Magic, to be fair. Impulsive Research, alright. Our opponent kind of going off here. Well, they had Search for his Kanta as well. Deluge, Skin Render is very good. Necromancy. Yeah, they had a lot better reanimation stuff. So. All right. Yep. Alright, so do I control magic? See, this Muldrifter is going to kill me if I don't stick a flyer. So I can control magic the Grave Titan. Deed for 0. Or 5. Well, I have to deed for 5 first. Before control magic, clearly. So we're not into taking pain or shocking. So let's see. Oh, I fucking could have killed him, and I didn't. My opponent was at 5 and I went for Liliana. I didn't realize his life total was that low. I was too busy planning my lines out, and that is how you punt a huge play. Hopefully, I have enough of a board state and my opponent can't interact with it, so I am free to just kill him on the swing back. It would be really funny if I lost this game because of that. Yeah, geez. For some reason, in my mind, my opponent was at like 11. So, let's see. If I attack him for 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. All right. Let's see, I just attack him. He gains 2, takes a bunch. I think he's still dead. Let me see if I could Dark Petition for anything. Alright. That works. Alright. Whew, man. Alright, we got there. We have 9 minutes left to try again. That was ridiculous. Deed was pretty good. Vraska was pretty good. My mana was pretty bad for it. So let's chop Blood Crypt. So we don't need red mana. And let's add Forest. 2 basic forests, pretty bad though. You know what? We'll just add the swamp. We don't want to shock that much anyway. And well, let's just jam it back. Let's see, we can turn 1 Liliana again. We're on the draw, and making our Reanimator opponent discard cards is not that great, so we're going to mulligan this. Sure. We'll keep that. We get the Bazaar. Signet. I don't think we're really 2 and 2, so we'll bottom that. We just want some action. Alright. Compulsive Research. We'll just play a fetch land. We'll go ahead and pass the turn and fetch and not shock and get the Watery Grave. Search for Escanta is very good. That card's super good in every format, I think. Maybe even to Vintage, although I'm not sure. Oh, I forgot to fetch on my opponent's end step like an asshole, so we're shocking. Great. Yeah, we'll pay the 2 life. Yeah. Again, trying to address and talk to my audience here makes playing Magical slightly more difficult as well. I'm used to talking myself through the lines in my head, or thinking very hard and tanking and kind of sorting out the lines of play I want to take. It's much easier to misplay Alright, they've suspended a Cloud Skate. Alright, let's go digging with Jace. Good old Jacey Poo. I think we can huck the... I think we want the Temple Garden. Want the Research. Mannequin. Compulsive Search. I think we'll just chuck the Vraska. Seems bad, but... no fucking targets for our Mannequin. We have Deed. We have an ultimate price. So I think we just pitch the Deed and the Research. And then we get to flip. Oh, we didn't even untap our lands because we're idiots. Alright. Again, Magic Online punts. We get to flip Jace, which is good. Alright, he's gonna kill our Jace. That's fair. Alright, we're just going to let our opponent do his thing. And if he casts anything worthwhile or reanimates anything, then we are going to control magic it. I've been playing very sloppy this game, guys. I apologize. Ooh, Scarab God's pretty good. So let's Bazaar. Let's go grab a Scarab God. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a target or a spell that can target it. Alright, opponent doing some stuff. Yeah, unfortunate. And Liliana, great. Well, this is going over like a turd in a punch bowl, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll take 2, maybe. All right, well, we get back our Scarab God, which is good. I think just casting it's good enough. We really need to speed up the play here, though, because we'll just time out and lose the game. So, black, 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 blue, other, and we'll just play a Scarab God. And then we can go ahead and cast the Signet, and then we'll just pitch the turn. Our opponent getting ever closer to flipping his Kanta. Next turn we get to get a Jace back with the Scarab God, which seems pretty good. Okay, they're going to skin render our Scarab God. Pretty good. Yep. I see what you did there. So we're pretty dead this game. Alright, I've seen enough. So I have to try to win in 4 minutes on the play. How do I do that? Yeah, alright. Well, we're just going to try it. I've wasted so much time in this match. Unfortunately for me, this match would have been, like, far more winnable had I not wasted a lot of time. I mean, we were up a game, now we're tied. We have way less time, so play first. Lands, Lotus stuff, keep. Yeah. Yeah, we can make a turn 2 Tasker, I guess. It's pretty good. Turn 1 Gifts is pretty good too. No, just go. Opponent ponders. So we just have to, if we're not casting spells, we have to click through as fast as we can and try to preserve our clock. Alright, Watery Grave. Alright, we're going to try to go for a Turbo Veraska on turn 3. Hope it's enough. We could take care of any threats that they have with her and also make Menace Pirates of our own to try to win and hope for the very best. Alright. I think we would have won this game. Hopefully, there's still time. We don't time out. We have 3 minutes or so to do it. On the back of Tassiger and Vraska. So next turn we get to attack for potentially 9, 10, 11. Our opponent's at 14. We actually might do it. Our opponent's tanking about it. Alright, we're going to make a pirate, and we're just going to pass the turn. Because we could kill whatever our opponent plays. It's close. We had to take the aggressive route, but I think it was worth it. The turn 3 Vraska is really good. Black Lotus is a hell of a magic card. And the follow-up Tasker was pretty clutch. Alright, so they're going to bounce probably Vraska. Oh no, the Sower, so they get back the Render. Okay. Makes total sense, but I get to play it again. They take less. Probably not attacking Vraska. That's fair. Play an imp. There's building a board state so I don't die. Recurring Nightmare is ridiculously annoying. Yep. So the game is not slipping away by the amount of like stuff going on from our opponent. It's slipping away due to time. So I think we have to destroy. Actually, let's see. Let's play a Sower. Take the Nighthawk. Alright, so he's going to block with the Skin Render. It's fine. Or he's going to take it. Okay. That's different. Alright. So we can ultimate price whatever he puts down. And then we get to... He's going to bounce the... Okay. That is fair. Yeah, he's going to Recurring Nightmare... A Recurring Nightmare. In response to Recurring Nightmare, we could ultimate price the Skin Render, leaving him nothing to sacrifice. And then we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage on board. He's digging hard. I think we can pull through this. We have 1 minute and 16 to do it. I think that does it. He's tapped out, 2 cards in hand. Unless they're a Force of Will blue card, I think we're pretty good. So I think we just attack. $57 seconds left. GG's, buddy. Let's push this attack through. We got there, guys. That was a hell of a league, and for a pretty, like, mediocre Reanimator deck and a pretty, like, mediocre Black Control mid-range deck, Going 2-1 is pretty decent. I gained some play points so I can run it back, so expect to see another one of these videos before the end of this league. And that's all I got, guys. Comment down below and let me know how abysmal my play was that whole time. I don't mind, but I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys again soon.